Welcome back to another 7 Deadly Sins origin video. Today we're going to be talking about all the things you can do to prepare and get ready for Elizabeth. Obviously, she's the next character that's coming out. There's tons of stuff you can pre-farm and just get your account ready so the day she drops, you can obviously have a little bit of a head start and just have her feeling more powerful right off the bat. So I've got a couple different things I'm going to show you here, and all this comes from X, and you can see in the top right corner, obviously, the person that put this information out. I'm not going to try to say that name and butcher it. But this is the icons, like what her icons look like in the game. And this doesn't tell us obviously what her kit is, but this obviously gives us a lot of information. This is Elizabeth. We already knew she was going to be a support and she was going to be a healer. But if you actually look at these icons, like the Grimoire, it looks like she's doing 3 like healing / supporting abilities, right? It looks like that's all support. The ability on the far right, I'm assuming is her ult. Looks like it could even like revive you with like the Phoenix, but obviously it's probably going to do a huge AoE healing. Same with the staff at the bottom. It looks like you're throwing down some sort of AoE. Could be healing, could be buff. So basically this tells us, we already knew this, but Elizabeth is going to be supporting and she's going to be healing. So that already gives us an idea of how we want to build her. As well as if you look on the right, it says Grimoire Light, Wand, Light, Staff, Physical. So that gives us the beads that we want to farm, as well as the materials that we want to farm as far as which bosses we want to fight. And we can have these bosses pre-fought to where whenever she comes out, we can instantly get all of her weapon masteries done. So a lot of good information here. And with that information and knowing the weapons, this is exactly the materials you need to farm. Shout out to this guy for posting this and just making it easy for us. So if you want to pause this here and look at that and farm this up, you can. Let's get in-game now and look at stuff that you can do in-game to prepare for Elizabeth. So now here we are in game. I'm going to show you just a few things that you can grind out and just kind of stay on top of. If you've enjoyed the content so far, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and comment below and let me know how excited you are for Elizabeth. I'm just really curious to kind of know people's feedback. Like we saw with the post I just showed you before, we know that we need Holy, we know that we need Physical. These are items that you can only get a certain amount of times per day, so if you get ahead of this now, you'll be able to just make a lot more of these by the time she comes out, and maybe you can get that perfect roll. It's super rare to actually get a super solid roll in this game. You got to get lucky, but this kind of just gives you a little bit more of a chance to do that because you've pre-farmed it and you have, you know, a week from now, this time this video comes out. Also, maybe get a few of these legendary beads going. I would also recommend maybe looking to get on top of some of these. The needles, the scissors, the rift. I'm not saying to craft these. I think it's trash, but I have a feeling these could get reduced. Maybe they won't, and you just have these sitting here. You can always make them anyway and try to put them on her. Maybe you get lucky. It's just really bad right now with how expensive they are. But if these get reduced and you were already on top of this, this could be really good. Or maybe these become guaranteed. I don't know, but something to look out for and something that you can do, because these are obviously valuable on new characters because you can reroll the armor, you can reroll the passives, and you can reroll the equipment level if it's really low. But again, the fact that it goes backwards, sometimes it's not worth it. Like I said, we know her weapons, so you can also get on top of these if you want. I'm not going to recommend you make them yet because we don't know if there is a chance that she could be maybe more valuable with the Breath of Glory. There's not many characters that are, but you can get these ready either way to where when she comes out, you have them ready to go. There's a chance you may already have some of these, so you can just pull them from other characters. I do that a lot as well. We'll talk about her armor sets in a minute because we know she's support / healing. So we already have an idea of how we're probably going to build her. Magic infused enhanced metals. You want to get on top of these. She's going to have 2 outfits, which means you're going to need, just simply put, you're going to need 2 of those, as well as, if I knew where I was going here, you're going to need 2 brilliant engraving seals. So you just want to save that back to where when she comes out, you're able to make her outfits. There's always 2 on release, so I'm assuming that's not changing. You need at least 2 of these and 2 of the engravement seals. Just a quick little note here. If we do potentially get new weapons, you may want to stay on the Malachite because I'm assuming it would use this because this is the newest thing. Maybe just farm your Malachite every day in case we do get new weapons and maybe there is something specific that's really good for her. Here we are really quickly in our bag. There's a few things that you can save up for her as well. Special refinement stones. You're going to need like at least 210 of these just for her 2 outfits alone. Not to mention if you build new armor for her, you'll need more for those. So something that you can get ahead of as well because these are always lacking because you just don't get enough of these. Like I said earlier, you want 2 of the engravement seals. You obviously want 2 of the hero, or 15 of the hero tokens. We talked about that in the other, that was in the last slide. You could also get some SSR shards. Obviously the generic ones you could save for her, the ones that level up everything. I've used all mine on Merlin, so I don't really have that option, but that is something to keep in mind in case you do want to level her weapon up really quick. Let's really quickly look at armors. I think support characters are really easy to build, and so we know that that's what she's going to do. We know she's going to heal, so we can kind of get on top of this really quickly. Whether it is support or healing, most likely you're going to want a 4-piece of the life crystal because this gives you 20% HP. Very valuable for healers and supports, just giving you more HP because you're not really trying to do a ton of damage with them most of the time. You could always go for the 7-piece to get that ready for healing efficiency plus 20, but if she heals really well, which a high chance she is, you may not even need this. You could just stick with the 4-piece. Throw the Hymn of Regeneration on her. This will give you magic charging efficiency as well as 10% more HP, as well as charging your magic even better. I also always like, you can see with my Daisy, I always like to have a character that has these shields here. I think this is just generally a good tip in the game in general, to just have a 2-piece of this, because it gives you 10% more HP, but it also grants all allied heroes barriers equal to 7% of max HP. This could be very powerful on Elizabeth, so just having some of this stuff ready to go. A lot of my teams, I run Manny and Daisy, so I'll have the Hema regeneration on Manny, and I will have the Cursed Pulse set on Daisy. So you, like I said, you can have either one of them ready to go for her, but you're going to want some Life Crystal most likely. These are craftable pieces like you saw earlier, so you can get ahead of that too, because they're kind of annoying. There's like a lot of stuff you have to, there's like a bunch of these like butterflies and stuff you have to do, because you have to make these rare shock absorbers, as well as you're going to need the crafting items. So that's something else you can look at as well. You can see that here, keeping up with these tablets, because these are also super annoying. But if you do not have Life Crystal Belt, Life Crystal Bottom, this is something you'll want to look at. And like I said, you can grind the rest of them out just easily in the game via the boss challenges. You can see here, he drops like half of them right here, it looks like. But yeah, that was just a few tips to just kind of get you ahead of the grind, so that when Elizabeth comes out, hopefully you feel, you know, a little bit more prepared, and obviously have the better ability to make her just more powerful off the bat. As always, if you enjoyed the content, please do me a favor and comment below. I just really want to know how excited people are for Elizabeth. I'm really curious, like, is she more popular than Merlin? Is she less popular? Like, how's the excitement levels looking? Merlin was obviously a really good character and obviously brought in a lot of hype. Really appreciate you watching the whole video. We will catch y'all in the next one.